definitely going to be very interesting. I wonder how band picks will go here for our first match, which I believe is TGF versus SV. Let me check on that real quick to be perfectly sure. Of course, don't forget that you can get involved into the social media action here by using your Weibo, Weibo, Weibo account to post with the hashtag CFPL and could have some prizes there. Let's have a look. See, it is indeed TGF versus SV for our first match, and I think gonna be a little bit on Chong R for TGF in this match. He's been so impressive in recent weeks, really showing why he was, that player of the future there with the likes of N9. Bear with me here while I get back into the swing of things. It can be a bit rough with the solo cast, but we're working on it. We should be getting into the lineups before too long. And again, I'm going to be very curious to see which players are going to be starting here for SV. Formerly, of course, Vici. Most importantly, it will be seeing who is sitting in that opera role. Will it be the legendary Emzin? We should be able to find out here almost immediately. Or excuse me, that we are going to look at the table here, and as I said, a four-way tie there at the top of the table. SV with a very impressive search and sabotage score there at 88%. White Sharks only with that 60% sabotage, which is why, I think we might see them maybe higher than you would expect. HG sitting there at a 75% with Q9 and AG. So again, I think definitely still some movement to be had at the top of the table. White Sharks are going to have to show something a little bit special here to stay up there moving forward. We will guaranteed have a bit of separation at the top unless AG and SV both lose 2-0, in which case that wouldn't matter, because then TGF, of course, would be in the first spot with 11 points, or with 12 points. So TGF can pull out the 2-0 here, would be very, very big for them. If any team can pull out that 2-0, it's going to be huge here. I can't stress how excited I am for these games, because really going to see the top of the table shake up here. And we could end up with the most boring result, which would, of course, be AG and SV sitting at the top of the table again. It feels like that's the story almost every year. But, of course, as I said, we will see SV versus TGF first. And, man, I think we're going to have to see something a little bit out of the ordinary here from TGF. I don't think they're quite good enough as a team yet to really challenge the likes of SV on an even playing field. But of course they do have the talent on this roster. It's pretty crazy, this lineup that they've managed to put together here. As we see, of course, Hi Dong Dong. Hi first here with a .81 KDA. 106 kills to his name. Really quite impressive there. Getting .72 there on the Search and Destroy KDA. Excuse me. And Dono here with the 1.13 KDA. Very impressive. A little bit low on that headshot end, but... And of course, a name everyone here should recognize, TF, Tianfeng, sitting at that 1.18. The opera for TGF and captain. Lot of history here. He will be playing against some of his former EP teammates today. Chong R, the man I was talking about, the real franchise player here, 1.21 franchise player in that his mechanics are just so good. You're probably looking at TF to lead the team 00 as well here with a 1.28. And as I said, for this team, it's really all about that mechanical skill right now. Still maybe working on the team coordination and chemistry a little bit. But if they can get that sorted out, definitely a team ready to fight for the top of the table easily. Hi there. Really, I mean, there's nobody on this team that you say can't hold their own against the best. Don't know. Bunch of good players here. I really hope to see them. I think they might have another season or two of work before they become that top team. Just because I don't think they quite, except for TF here in the middle, they don't quite have that experience yet. I think the team still has a bit of maturing to do before we see them win the CFPL. But you never know. When you have this much talent stacked on a team, similar to SV, you would think maybe not first season that they can take down AG, but they did it and then couldn't seem to lose for the life of them in any tournament. And really haven't seen them challenged except for by AG in their first round loss on day one, match one, I believe it was. No there. And should get a look here at the SV lineup now. Again, I'm very curious to see who's sitting there in that op. Should be able to tell in a second. Can't quite see. And it does look like they will be running Elegant. Yep, and that is correct right there in the second spot. 18 on the far left here, sitting at that 0.91 KDA. Could stand to push that up a little bit, but you expect him to do so. That 1.21 here, very impressive from Elegant. Again, I'm glad to see him on a team like SV. I think he has a lot to offer. Double Q, DBQ here, 1.1. Always been a very good supportive player. And has continued to fill that role here on SV very well. N9, of course, that mechanical beast that we know him for, 1.47 KDA. A little bit out of control there from him. Excuse me, I do seem to have lagged out there for a second. But it should be... who else do we have left on the team that I'm missing? Double Q there. Former Hangong player himself, which of course we will see his former team playing in our second match of the day. Definitely think that this move worked out well for him, as SV still pretty much the team to beat, or the team to be dethroned. A lot of people now giving the nod to AG as the team to beat in the CFPL. If Elegant can really learn from MZin and be able to carry some of what he did into it, I actually think Elegant is a better mechanical player than MZin. MZin always been known for his game smarts more than his actual mechanical skill, which, don't get me wrong, he's up there with the best, but it's not the first thing you think of when you that's kind of something you would attribute to 70 kg as just never going to win a duel with him. I think Elegant is almost very similar, very, 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 very impressive mechanically, maybe lacking a bit in the game sense. So if Emzen can teach him that, Anka, of course, they're on your screen, and then N9 as well, I think would be very, very important for them. 18 going to be taking over that shot calling role. Not a surprise at all. Has been study in China. In China, they consider Emzin, or 18 to be Emzin's disciple. They have been playing together for years and years. And yep, here is that featured matchup. It is going to be OO versus N9. OO having a great season for himself. Already sitting there at 213 kills. I believe he is one of the leaders in the league. Yep, he is third place on the kill leaders for the league. Headshots there going to go a little bit in the favor, as well as KDA going to go quite a bit in the favor of N9. Now getting into the ban pick here. I wonder if we see TGF ban Port. We will see Ankara, the first ban here from Super Valiant. It will be sub-base instead by TGF, followed by a Mexico ban here by SV, and a pick of Black Widow 2.0. We will see Port picked actually by TGF, and they will go ahead and take the global risk side. We will go Black Widow, Port, then Mexico, TD if we get there. And what this signals to me, this ban pick, is that these are two teams that know each other very well. I imagine there's a lot of scrimming going on between these two. Because you would expect SV to maybe pick Port against TGF. But clearly not the case here. They definitely know something from scrims that I do not. And we will go ahead and get into Black Widow here. Going to take a look at the map. We did see, of course, just a minute ago there, taking long A onto the site, and now coming through the B doors and onto the B bomb site. Of course, those double doors on the right there coming across, very dangerous if not smoked off. Dangerous even if they are smoked off. And here coming through mid onto the bridge. And from the bridge onto the A site. Should be one of our last routes here, I do believe. And then we should be ready to get into it. Of course, coming through the double doors and left onto the B bomb site. Just right in front of that blacklist spawn. We saw a really nice play from Long Long there yesterday. See if anybody can remake that magic. Let's go ahead and get into it. TGF versus SV. Again, a battle for first place here at the top of the table between SV and TGF. This match, as well as the second one today, will probably give us a decider of who is in first place for at least a little bit. We will go ahead and see that smoke is going to fill out just before TF gets vision onto Double Q. He might have gotten a little bit of a glimpse of him, but not enough to take a really good shot there. Does look like the smoke is starting to die out a bit, and it will. And does look like Elegant's going to look for the trade onto TF, and he is going to lose that duel. Well done there by TF, hitting him as the crouch comes out through the boards and getting that penetrating headshot. The other four members of SV, however, are stacked to this B side, and only high there on the site to stop it. He will have knowledge of it now. The flash is going to come out. He's going to get dropped immediately. Nice entry there by N9. And they should get on pretty cleanly onto the site. They're going to need to smoke out those doors, and we see it come out immediately. And that should prevent TF from having that free line of sight into the base. Big end around here from OO. And he is going to pick one up here. They're going to need to coordinate this well. TGF, coming from two different angles. Nice. Good effort there by 18. Unable to trade out two, though. And, yeah, well done by N9 to close that round out. Looked like TGF had a real chance if they were able to. But SV did a good job of separating that attack and denying the flank from both directions. Good take there from SV, especially after losing Elegant. Of course, his name, number 5 there, will be Bing Bing, but I'm just going to continue to call him Elegant. I'll try and remind people from time to time that is his name on the Chinese client. We do see holding pretty aggressively in that hallway is OO, number 4 there. We do have vision. This is from his angle now, and he is going to pick up the double. Oh, can't quite win the duel against N9. Only going to tag him once, actually, in the end. N9 now sitting on 4 kills already for the round, or for this, between 2 rounds, getting a 3K last round. And starting himself up early with one here. Nice kill there by Hi. Is going to put TGF back into the man advantage, but Elegant going to take him down. But as we say that, TF taking... Where did that kill come down? Oh, another kill there from Elegant. Just back and forth. Snipers trading kills. I didn't see where that kill from TF was. It must have been on that A site. But now we will see ourselves into the 2-on-2. Very, very interesting for me to see Chong-R and N9 going up against each other. They were, of course, rookies. Nice kill there from Elegant, catching TF looking their wrong way. And now it's going to all be on N9, and he's going to get also caught looking the wrong way and taken down by Chong-R. I was saying, of course, that those two players, N9 and Chong-R being number 2 there for TGF, were rookies in the same split. I believe it was season 6 or 7. And at the time, Chong-R was actually the one who got rookie of the split. And then from there, but ever since, N9 has found more success. And Chong-R definitely still playing well. He did spend some time on AG, but couldn't quite get it figured out with that team. Has looked much better here, much more comfortable here on TGF. And he's got a good supporting cast, especially here in 18 as the captain. We do see Zhao Zhao here holding at the double doors in mid. Pretty standard defense here from TGF. Gonna be Hi there. And Zhao Zhao on the B site holding. Zhao Zhao is gonna kind of swap here between that mid and B site. Bomb is headed towards the B site. Ooh, nice pick there from Elegant. Onto the A site. And wonder how much we will continue to see him playing on his own. It's been pretty much every round now that he's just been out there doing his own thing. Chong-R going to be holding under the bridge here and could have a nice position. We'll see one come across and we'll get that call across and is going to play it very patiently. And yeah, he will get the kill onto N9. Looking for the second one onto WQ. Can he get the third one onto 18? And he can. Very well played there from Chong-R. Patient play. So a bit of a rare play there out of such a young player to have that kind of patience. And that will put us into a 2-on-1 here. Again, looking like it's going to be close. I would have been surprised if it wasn't. Do see a smoke coming out through mid on the double doors. And another towards long A here. TF looking at that corner. Oh, excuse me. That smoke is towards the B double door, or towards the B door. Is it? I'm not sure what that is smoking up. That must be smoking off the angle from the windows. On the bridge entrance. Interesting. Anyway, as we do see, does look like an A execute is in the works, but it is awfully predictable here, as we do see 4 stacked here on that site. It does look like SV will rethink that idea. Probably going to leave Elegant over there on long A to continue playing by himself. We've seen it every round here. Although, as I say that, he is going to rotate over back towards mid. Lots of good long lines of sight here on this Black Widow map for sniping. And it does look like we are going to see a bridge execute here, and it is going to come out pretty much immediately. Good entry there. Is going to get one traded back. Couple kills now in the favor of TGF. Back and forth into a 3-on-3. And lots of stuff coming through on the comms. This is intense assault here. Now into a 2-on-2. Zalzal in a nice spot. Now into the 1-on-1. After Zalzal taking down Elegant. Zalzal looking like he's going to reposition for this. And we will go ahead and get the 1-on-1 cams on your screen. Of course, double Q in the bottom left and Zalzal in the top right. And the bomb's actually going to go all the way over here to... Oh, and he's going to get caught out immediately by double Q. Very good read on the play. Caught him with the bomb in hand. And not how it looked like that round was going to play out. Excuse me, that was Zalzal that caught double Q with the bomb out. Very, very good read by him to see what was clearly happening. Played it nice and aggressive. And that will put TGF into the 2-point lead here. I definitely think this one's still going to go super close. Smoke here on the stairwell towards the bridge. We have seen a 2-stack here for pretty much every round from TGF. It is a nice place to hold because the rotation to A is almost, you can see A site from there pretty much immediately. You have vision on mid. TF going to pick one up onto Elegant. Again, looking like he's getting the better of that sniper duel. Elegant making a liar out of me. We just see spray through the smoke. Isn't going to find any purchase. Hi does pick one up there on the N9 though. And kills coming all through here for TGF. It's also going to get one in the back, and then TF going to dunk with the grenade. Very back and round firefight there on the steps. Does end up in the favor of TGF. Zalzal really the big winner of that one, getting the free kill into the back. That definitely got a big tag there onto TF. And he's not going to hit any shots with that. And this could be a pretty clean round here for SV, as that should open up the bomb site pretty well here on A. As I say that, though, all 3 members have rotated across. Trades are in favor of TGF at the moment, but still in a man-down advantage. Going to be that 3-on-2. If SV could get... Oh, and it's not going to matter because WQ is going to win that trade with Chomar. I was going to say, if they could get out here, it might be better to move that bomb over to the A site. But it won't matter in the end as Elegant cleans it up. And that's going to bring us to the 2-4. Looking unit like it's going to be pretty tight here. TGF going to want to get at least one more round here on the defensive side. Probably would like 2 at least. Nice aggression here from Chomar. Going to get some big tag damage. It looked like. And 18 going to take down Zalzal. And action all over the map here. But the bomb goes down pretty much immediately onto that B site, and Hi thinking about retaking on his own, or at least trying to get a bit of information. He did get vision there onto 18, and a nice pick there from TF. Gonna even things out here for the retake. 3-3 and 9 in a good spot here to catch TF out. It doesn't land his shots initially, but does in the end. And High gonna get taken down. Triple kill there for N9. And it's almost like these two players have something to prove between N9 and Chong. Sitting, N9 definitely sitting there top fragging. We'll see it here in a second once the player cams do shift off. And it is N9 there with 10 kills. Chong sitting at 7. TF having a nice round. Gonna pick up another one for him and push that up to 9. Definitely haven't seen much underperformance yet on either team. Maybe Anka haven't been calling his name too much yet. But as we see that SV Elegant there going to be bunny hopping towards the B site. And a little bit awkward here from SV. They are might be able to catch Chongar out there in the window. He will see that spray coming through and get a little bit of information. Does look like he actually got vision there onto Anka for a second. And does look like we are going to see a fight here on the stairs again. Is going to go in the favor of TGF with all getting a double. Can't get the third though. Elegant gonna have to take this duel with TF, and well, that went well for him, but isn't going to be enough in the end. And that will put us into the 5-on-2 or 5-3. Big important round here for both sides. If it's the 6-3, definitely feel good as TGF going into the second half. If it's the 5-4, probably feeling better as SV. Kills coming in fast and furious now as N9 picking up a double and TF picking up a double for himself. And into the 3-on-3 we go. We do see the bomb go down here onto the A site. And interesting positions here from TGF. TF does get taken down there. And, well, OO's going to pick one up. And now it's a 2-on-2. Yeah, and that's a nice win there for SV. We'll put it at 5-4. Probably going to give the nod to SV there for that half then. But 5-4, not much between them here. 5 on the defensive side is what you would expect there if you're going to call it evenly matched. 5-4, 6-3, I think would have been really nice for TGF. The 5-4 going to probably play into SV's hands a little bit here. Only going to need 6 rounds on the defense themselves to close it out. Going to need 6 rounds on the defense or 5 rounds on the attack here from excuse me, from TGF. So hard to call here. Very hard to call here. Do see pretty standard fan out here from SV. They are going to elect to have only N9 hold on that staircase. It's something we see a lot from SV, leaving N9 to hold locations on his own, but it is going to be Anka actually holding all alone on B, and N9 going to get the early pick. But Chong are going to trade it back there onto N9. We've seen him pick up the op quite a bit lately, especially very early into rounds on Black Widow. And then oftentimes toss it off, and he does there to all. Number 2 there on TGF. So Chong are picking up that early kill and then tossing it off. Definitely a sign of a carry player there. 18 and TF looking like exchanging a few rounds of ammunition. Ooh. Excuse me. And Double Q hovering at those double doors in mid. Gonna need to be careful as he could put himself in TF's sights here. Elegant playing over here under the walkway towards B. It does look like we are going to see another firefight on the staircase. 18 not in the best position for this. Is going to get the early turn there, though, and trade 1-for-1. Nice flash there by Double Q. Going to allow him to pick up the double and the triple. And the play from 18 really working out there in the end because of the amount of information he gathered. And a really nice flash there from WQ, making that double kill pretty easy there. One of the best parts of his name is when WQ gets a double kill. And then he did win that last duel there to pick up that third. Last one was definitely an even duel. Tongar again looking to try and pick up something down mid early. I do believe if he hasn't fired a shot, he can actually trade out the weapon. He is still holding on to it here. Playing it nice and patient towards that mid. And if N9's not careful, he could get taken down. And the second time we've seen this play from N9. Needs to be careful not to get too predictable. It does look like Chong-R missed the shot onto him there. But a bit of information gained and a bit of damage earned there for N9. Good play from him. He needs to be careful about how often he does that, though, as especially if Chong-R is going to continue to pick up that op early on and look for a pick. He does trade it out there as he has yet to, as he never fired a shot there with that op. And Bomb is going to move towards a full 5 stack here. N9 picking up 2 here. 3 now. And WQ trading, getting another one. And, you know, I said he needs to be careful about how he plays from that position before, lest it come predictable. Well, clearly wasn't very predictable for definitely wasn't very predictable for TGF in the end, as they got mowed down completely. Only Chong-R left alive, but he is in the 2-on-1 situation. He is looking for Elegant. Oh, he's going to win that early duel, but he needs to be careful. Should have been seen with the bomb out by Anka. Oh, just barely getting over that railing. And it's going to be a duel through the window, and Chong-R wins it. Big clutch there from Chong-R after what looked like a dead round after the 3-kill in mid by N9. Really well done there, and that will put them back into the lead here. Back and forth we go. SV and TGF looking like it might very well go to overtime here on our first map. We do see a fast BA execute here through the doors. They are going to need to do something about this doorway. They just toss as much equipment into it as they can and try to get across. 18 could be in a really nice spot here. Unfortunately, Chong-R is waiting for him, but he wins it anyway and picks up the double kill. Oh, he looks for the third one. Oh, gonna go down here to 18 for the 3K. And definitely well played round there from 18. Thought for all the world he was gonna go down to Chong-R as he turned that corner, but finished off the kill through the window and then managed to flick onto Chong-R before going down at all and winning both. Very well, very nice solo play there by him. 18, he is gonna go ahead and drop early on in this round, as well as Elegant, and that's gonna stretch the defense real thin. They probably need to just pick a site here. Does TGF and get the execute done pretty quickly. Really smart play here from SV. I think TGF needed to push that 4v3 pretty quickly here. Actually, it was a 5-on-3 at one point, wasn't it? They needed to push that advantage quickly, as there's no way to mount a proper defense there with 3 people on 2 sites. I think they just needed to go in force to a site at pace. They do get the bomb down here, though. And still a winnable round with the man advantage. N9 going to have to take down high on these boxes. And time is already ticking down pretty low here. Oh my goodness. He's going to regret that one in the morning as high. As he looks the wrong direction at the worst possible time. Zazao does clutch it out there with the double kill. But waited until the last possible second. And then looked away from N9 as he sprung through the doors. That can't feel good. Into the 14th round we go here. Again, we see 2 players there playing the bridge, and N9 again poking out through these doors. I really want to see. Now we see 3 ops here. Playing it super slow is TGF. Just going to sit here at spawn. See if they can't pick anything up. Of course, if they can't, they'll just toss those ops and re-pick up their original weapons, as Chongar does it immediately. As I say it, and OO will as well. We do see some aggression here from SV. Not going to really pay off. They do get the 1-for-1 trade. But TF is also going to go down there, and that will make it worth it here for SV, those aggressive plays. And that's going to put TGF in a tight spot here. N9 going to trade weapons there with Elegant. And it will be Elegant holding with the M4 here on the A bomb site. As well, and I guess N9 showing why he can trade weapons like that, as he does get a kill almost immediately with the sniper rifle. And it's going to be a tough one here for Chongar. He picks up a double. He can't do this, can he? There's no way. He only has 2 HP. He's going to need to land some amazing headshots. And he will go down in the end, but made us believe there for a second, as both 18 and N9 were 1 shot away. Whew, that could have been very interesting 1v4. But man, was that a clean double kill. Oh, 18 going to get ruined by those grenades. And he will go down almost immediately. And so much utility coming out between the 2 teams. Just a straight-on brawl here at Long A. And TGF going to win it in spades. Chongar picking up a triple kill. High picking up a double kill. Just not the best round there from SV, but it pretty much just came down to mechanics, as it was just an all-out brawl there at Long A. And thinking about doing it again, saying TGF said, we liked that. You guys want to do it again? SV says, nah, we're cool. We cool. You can have that. You can have that corner. Gonna be an important duel here again between Elegant and TF. It's only a matter of time before they find each other in the sights down Long A here. Elegant is actually going to hold a pretty deep line, though. We do see 3 men heading over towards the A site, and should be pretty well defended here. We do see N9 again stepping in through those windows. I really want to see TGF find a way to punish that, but we do see the 5-man execute going to come out onto A. Only Elegant to stop it. Not the best flash out of him, but Double Q picking it up from the bridge, and he will go down, but only after getting 2 kills. And ooh, what a shot there by Elegant. Gonna need to pull some magic. Probably should have swapped out for the pistol there. And actually, all things considered, it ends up in a 2-on-2, and only Double Q now alive. But he will get one early onto High, and only OO. This could be OO and Double Q alive, both sub 10 HP, 8 and 7 to their names. It's all going to be see who sees the other one first. I think if I were OO, and it will be Double Q that picks it up. I would have liked to see OO play from under the bridge, especially if he knew what Double Q's, DBQ's health was at, because that would have made it very convenient. But that can also give you a lot of directions to cover. You have to cover above you and left and right. So maybe not the best idea. And that will tie us up 8-8. Looking all the world, we're going to see some overtime here. There's just been very, very little between these two teams. Ooh, gonna be a nice firefight here in the mid. 1 by 18. And it did look like TF or Chongar again looking for that picked on mid. Will trade back out for the M4. And it looks like we might have a pretty early B execute here. N9 pre-firing through that door. They do wait for him to run out of ammo, and they are going to flash him out. Rotation will come across from 18, but not quite committed yet is SV to this defense. And rightfully so, because TGF is not yet committed to it on the offense. Excuse me. We will see them rotate over towards mid. The smoke down mid is dying. Elegant might be able to pick off Chongar. Although it does look like it's going to be very tense here as they move on to the A site. And it will be a pretty clean entry. Unable to hit the shot through the box there is Elegant. And that's going to be an incredible entry there in the end. And Double Q going to try and retake from the window. And just barely didn't get seen by OO. And that's good. Nice, interesting trade or fight around the pillar there. And 9 going to go down. And now into the one-on-one. OO versus Double Q. Can Double Q win his second 1v1 in a row? He cannot. And that will put TGF onto map point. There's no sound on the stream. Hello. Just been informed there's no sound. Is that true? Let me look into this. Sorry. Will be okay. So there is audio. All right. Sorry. We are into our last round here, and while I was off screen doing things, we have actually TF going to even things out here into a 3-on-3. Really tight here. Going to need to be a win here from Double Q, and he does pick it up. He's going to pick up the double. Can he pick up the third one here onto Chongar? Not yet. All three members. Ooh, get a huge tag there from Chongar, but Double Q says, don't worry about it. I got the headshot. And definitely like to see that we're going into overtime here on map 1. Really impressive rounds, impressive performance from both teams so far. There's not anybody you can point out on either team and say, they've really been a liability. We've seen the opping duel between Elegant and TF go both directions. No real clear winner between them. And we've also seen tactically SV not looking like they're completely outmatching TGF in that, which was probably the biggest worry for TGF coming into this is, where are their tactics compared to SV's? Although you also asked that question about SV when Emzen's not in the game. So it's very hard to call which way this one's going to go, and it's definitely looking like it's going to go the distance. We might see that 3-2 or that 5-4 in overtime. We'll, of course, be moving on to our overtime map here, where all weapons will be provided, will be on the map, and then will be last man standing, basically. It will be a 5-on-5. Must kill all of your enemies or have more people alive when the timer runs out to win the round. Although I'm not sure I've ever seen that happen. Ooh, gonna find himself in a bad situation as Double Q, but he is able to trade one out, and that could be important moving down the line as TGF starting to sweep up here. Oh, not gonna find that one onto Elegant. Elegant gonna need to pick up one. Can he pick up the second? Oh, he does onto Chomar. Can he get the third? Misses the no scope. He picks up the second no scope. What a boss! You hear his team letting him know how huge that round was. Gonna pick up the 3v1 solo. Just absolutely unexpected there from Elegant. And that might hurt a bit for TGF. Ooh, not what you want to see popping out as TF. Deciding to stay together was SV, and now starting to split up a bit. And N9 going to pick up another one. He's going to find himself pinned down pretty badly. He will get some reinforcements over the top here. And that will allow, or won't allow, it will force TGF here to back off a little bit. And Elegant going to pick up another one. Looking like he's going to carry this overtime round. Already 4 to his name. 5 now. Elegant turning it on here in overtime. Starting to get a little out of control how well he's playing with that AWM. Maybe he's just playing with the AWM all the time. Oh, going to pick up another one. He's going to look for more. Is he going to find that one onto 00? He's going to feel a little bit bad about that one. Does get a glimpse onto TF and gets taken down. TF playing that really nicely. Ooh, nice headshot there again. And SV just trouncing TGF here in the overtime. TGF came so close to pulling out round number 1. And it hasn't looked close since that. Hi will get vision on quite a few members there. And be able to fall back. And is going to pick one up, but will get traded out. Elegant tagged pretty heavily, but as is TF. And kills coming back and forth now into the 3-on-3. 18 missing a couple shots there and will get made to pay for it by Zaza, who has picked up the AWM and is going to have to channel his inner Elegant in this 2-on-1. Ooh, another clever play there. Very interesting. I do believe he tossed it and picked it up immediately to try and force out the shot. Is going to lose it in the end. Came close. And that's going to put 4-0 SV on map point. TGF going to have to string 5 rounds in a row together. Feels a bit weird. And it looks like it's just going to be that 3-0. Or that 5-0. Yep, and complete whitewash there. And ended rather dramatically there. Or actually more... It ended rather anticlimactic there for how close it was on Black Widow. Maybe TGF not as practiced on that overtime map as they should be. Yeah, it was a complete whitewash. Get out of here. We'll be, of course, moving on to Port, which is TGF's map pick. So definitely not out of it yet. Did take SV to overtime on their map. Definitely going to have a chance here to even us up and push it to team deathmatch. I have no idea between these two teams who would be favored in team deathmatch. It's going to be difficult to call that one if it goes that far. But of course on Port, I think we most definitely, basically 100% chance that TGF will select the defensive side here on Port, as it is a defensive biased map. And they're going to need to pick up at least 6 rounds here on the defense to feel comfortable. I always find it interesting, especially on Port, when SV will be able to pick up that first round on the attack. Port can be such a difficult defense to break, but if you break it once, it can tend to crumble a bit. Whether it's that hard execute onto A, flashing out the balcony that we see so often, can result in early round wins for the attackers. Or if it's that hard contact through the choke on B, it can just be so hard to assault both of these points. Especially, there's so many ways to fall back as the defense, as well as so fast for rotations to come across. It can be just so hard to pick up rounds here on the offense, but we've seen teams do it consistently in different ways. Of course, here is that QR code that you can scan and get in on the social media chat here. We should get a look here into one of our rounds, and this should be TGF on the defense. And we do see here down at the bottom, it does say double kill in mid lane from the defensive, from Global Risk, and then succeeding in taking the A point. Oh, yeah, well, let's just... Global Risk kills 2 in mid early, and then they still are able to take the A point, I believe is what it's saying. And it will be actually, that it would be backwards. He will pick, N9 will pick up 2 early, and then TF will pick up 2. So a 2-for-2 trade there. And then onto the 3-on-3 on the site. Bomb goes down early. Or bomb goes down immediately, not early. And Double Q can win that with TF. And then looking like, gonna pick one up from the bridge. Double Q gonna pick up another one out of the window, and a third out of on the bridge. So only N9 and Double Q picking up kills in that round. Looked very even round, all things considered. I believe Double Q was the only man left standing. And we saw so many rounds go that way, where it was just the 1v3, or coming down to one-on-one so many times on both the attack and defense on both halves. It was just such a tight match, and then a complete stomp in overtime by SV, which is not the best thing to see, but I expect TGF to come back hard on this second map and take it to SV. I think if they do have a good port, it can be such a devastating map. If you have a good port and you're allowed to start on that defensive side, it can be such a devastating map. Especially if you can go up something like 6-3, 7-2. Looks like we will go ahead and look into the social media here. 70kg looking like he might read it for us. Does defer to Lee Jen, perhaps. Gets out of her chair for it. Must be intense. I think that Subbase's tactics are very complex or diverse. Gung Yi, sure. Oh, in the locker room, if you can pick one off in the locker room immediately, two people can move into that locker room and discussing how you can use the lights in defensive positions and attacking positions. If you don't let anybody in from that direction, it can be almost it's typically not possible to take the B point. That was a little bit hard to understand. I apologize. This one talking about compound in the B warehouse. With the metal door. So this would be interesting places to hold. So like on the lights in sub base on B point, and here in compound on B point, above the door. If you don't check that position, or there's a lot of positions to check there, of course, with the wooden boxes, people often don't check, and sometimes you can be successful in that location. I'm trying to think of any spots I can think of on my own that are super interesting to hold. I think it's not an especially tricky place to hold, but can be such an interesting place to hold is speaking of sub base, it's behind the missile, because there's so many different angles you can play from on that. We've seen so many multi-kills there. This one talking about on port, on the B point on port. Oh, it must be either to the far right when you come in, or back and to the left behind the wall would be my two guesses. I think that's probably the best place to hold on B point. We almost every single time, I'm sure we will see it coming up, where we will see somebody holding B point solo or with two people. But I saw the zoom. I thought we were going to break. I apologize. On that B point, on that concrete wall, because you have really nice line of sight onto the choke point that Blacklist has to filter out of, but also all you have to do to fall back and be safe is take one step backwards and drop down. And then, so if you can get one pick coming through that choke point, and then another when they come to try and take you down, you've already gotten the 2-for-1 and bought a lot of time for the super fast rotations on port. It's one of the reasons it makes port so hard to play as Blacklist. And I'm almost positive we will see SV having to play Blacklist from the start here on port. Good job, everyone. I'm almost sure that she just said good job to everyone. For Social Club, posting on social media. Again, I've said it enough, but I'll say it again. You can, of course, bring some English into the conversation and discuss which points on the CFPL map pool where there are interesting positions to hold. Scan that QR during the break, and we'll get back into it right after this.
专为游戏竞技定制，冠军战队专属选择，龙珠女子战队倾城代言，专业电竞显示器 iGun 爱公。
Welcome back here to this CrossFire Pro League. Of course, thanks again to Tencent, Smilegate, and VSPN for bringing this action to you, as well as our sponsors, AOC Rock and DX Racer. Again, popping up on your screen is that QR code to join the conversation from Weibo. Use that hashtag CFPL. And of course, we are getting into port. We will see. I'm going to continue to assume we will see TGF on that defensive side. I will be curious to see who they elect to hold that beat or that A point solo. Typically is the call, and maybe a 2-stack on B and 2 in the mid, just to start us off a pretty casual defense. Pretty typical defense is what I would expect. It will be interesting to see how SV elects to play it. They do have a really good sniper in Elegant, but he hasn't been, at least on Black Widow, another good sniping map. He hasn't really proved he can get the best of TF regularly. So, but it's been very back and forth between them. I wonder if we'll see them try and slow it down and allow him to get those, to see if he can't get them a pick, or if they allow N9 to try and go find a duel somewhere. We did see that a lot, especially on the defensive side, him poking his head out through the windows leading up to the bridge and finding a lot of joy there. It'll be interesting to see if he continues to try and do something similar on port. It's a little bit more difficult to find those aggressive plays, especially on defense. It's almost a bad idea because it's so easy to just use that standard hold and just try and use the choke points to your advantage and that rotation to your advantage. But on the offense, we may see him continue to try and, or see the team allow him to continue to try and find those duels and get them into the odd man situations before they have to execute onto a site. As if you're coming in even to one of the sites, it can be so hard to take unless you execute it really well. Should be getting into it here shortly. I would be very interested to hear 70kg's thoughts on this matchup, especially between TF and Elegant. I'm sure he has some very interesting thoughts on the matter, but we definitely haven't seen that go either direction yet. Maybe that will change on port. And of course our featured matchup, well, let's go and get into it now, though, and maybe discuss the featured matchup here in a second. SV versus TGF. SV up 1-0, but moving on to TGF's map here, Port. Let's get into it. And as expected, we do see TGF gonna take on that defensive side. A lot of early grenades coming out here from SV, looking like they might consider it a B rush here. And gonna lose a duel there. And again, this is what I didn't want to see out of TGF. What's the point there of stepping up and taking those duels there when you have such a better location to take them deep on the B point? I think that was a really lazy round out of TGF. I don't understand that whatsoever. I mean, I guess they just weren't expecting the B rush, but you saw so much equipment come, or so much utility come around that corner, and it looks like they just might run it back. Chonghara is going to throw one grenade out to try and prevent the full rush there, but these are the positions I expected to see them hold on B, because there's just no reason to get aggressive when you can hold these defensive positions and be so successful. With Zhao Zhao and Hai Hai in rotating positions, Zhao Zhao's just going to toss the one flash over and try and stop the pincer. And it is going to be down to 0-0, and yeah. And you see, this is much more what you expect from that defense on port. Is if they come in odds even into the B site, it's very hard to trade evenly. Hai gonna get hunted down here by 18 and will get tagged heavily and will die in the end. Smart by Chonghar and 0-0 to stay home. They still have the 2-on-1 situation and the bomb down on B site. Allow 18 to come to you and set up a trade position. Chonghar will get vision on him and stay down, waiting for 0-0 to rotate over. 18 going to reposition. Still can't quite get vision. Oh, does get a peek there on the Chonghar. Isn't able to take him down. But now that he has his position held down, it's going to be very hard for him to take this. Is going to see if he can't get a better angle onto Chong-ar. Chong-ar just going to continue to wait. Instead, gives him the free headshot. Oh, is sitting here on quite a bit more life. Going to need to be a headshot out of 18, but that reposition could catch off guard. He's still spraying towards that direction. He does start to consider the reposition now, and will reposition himself and get a little bit of ring around the rosy coming. That shot should give it away, and we will have taking it in the end. Not coming from the position 18 expected him to go to duck right, and he dodged left and won the round there. And it's one apiece here. I expect to see a bit more similar defense as the second round here from TGF, but instead they decide to hold those aggressive positions again. And I guess you can make the case that earns you quite a bit of information if you don't go down. But I just don't see why you wouldn't play those amazing choke points. There's only one way to get on to B, and it's through a nasty, nasty choke point. And you should have vision of them coming through thanks to the slotted window there. Does look like they are going to come from the bridge there up to the connector onto B, that elevated connector. They have yet to drop down on the box. Oh, they have dropped down. This will be an A execute coming out then. Gonna be Zhao alone here trying to slow it down. And the flash will come out onto the balcony and onto Zhao position. Need to be a hit here from TF. They didn't smoke him out. Zhao is gonna go down and gonna get onto the bomb site really quite cleanly here. Oh, in a nice position for the retake, but puts himself way out in the open and should get taken here by... It will be Anka in the end, going to pick up a double now. And Chong-ar is going to pick up one. We do see TF not going to be able to pick one up. Picks up one up with a pistol. Chong-ar going to pick up another one, but going to lose the last duel in the end. Nice execution there onto the A site. They got into that position behind the box without ever being seen. Would have liked to see Zhao play that from the balcony on A site so that he had more vision and could call that out earlier. But we will see TGF gonna fall back into standard defensive positions here. Gonna be cheating more towards this A site this time. I think that's a better decision. And leave. Looks like they are leaving. Currently, Hi up on the connector, I believe. And it does look like the connector play is going to come out again, although Anka doesn't make the jump there. He's going to miss the second jump as well. The struggle is real right now. And it looks like it's going to be the exact same play here. Double Q dropping down will signal that the A execute is going down, as there's no way back up from that. TGF more prepared for it this time. Going to have a really an extremely fast rotation over here. But Hi is going to be the first line of defense here. He's going to pick up two. And yeah, that should pretty much stuff that assault and end the round. Much better defensive position set up here from TGF this round. I didn't like that super deep hold position from Hi. Elegant, as we've seen so often, playing on his own, gonna pick up that kill. And Elegant going to continue to look down mid here. But won't matter in the end, unsurprisingly. will put us in the 2-on-2 situation. Really, really nice start here from SV. Already putting 2 rounds on the attacking side for Port. If they can get to a 5-4, they will be in insane position moving into the second half. Lots of trades coming out here. Super aggressive push from TGF. Went okay. It is the 3-on-3. We do hear a lot of communication coming out here. And tag TF going to pick one up. And just sitting on maybe 1 HP there is Chong R. Number 5 there for TGF. But with a player as mechanically skilled as him, 1 HP, it can still be a lot. TF having a nice round here. Going to pick up another one in mid. And Anka now all alone does have the bomb, but he's got to pick which choke point he'd like to go through. It does seem like he does have all of his utility, but still going to be really difficult. And TF going to pick up 3 on the round. Very well played by him. And it's just, it hasn't been as clean as you would like from TGF. That will put them in the 3-2 advantage. But they keep playing this map more aggressively on the defense than I think is ever necessary. We almost never see this out of the European teams, which do actually probably have the best port still in the business. There's a reason it's banned against them almost every round. Hi, gonna get one through the smoke. And then gonna get still a 1-for-1 trades a piece. And again, this is why I don't like that position. The best you can, you're just looking at a one and done situation there. You get a lot of information, but you can hold much more successfully on the B site, in my opinion. That's going to put us into a 3-on-3, which should favor SV here. Although, looking at the HP bars, TGF does have that going for them. TF, again, had a huge round last round and is going to look for it again. Getting a nice pistol kill there onto 18. Looking for another one onto WQ. Is going to miss it. And no reason to get anxious here with it. WQ now the only one alive as Zhao Zhao does pick up Elegant. He does have the bomb, and it is looking like he's just going to stampede over towards that A bomb site and try and get it down right when he gets there. TF could be in a nice position here. WQ definitely within his ability to win this round. He does have the high ground here on A site. Will elect to give it up, expecting them to come from A long, but it will be A short. And a nice dunk there by WQ. Does have the flash left. Does TF, but doesn't use it and gets taken down by WQ. And already you have to say job done here on the first half for SV. Anything after this is just bonus. And looking like in the end, TF gonna pick up the double there. 1 shot, 2 kills. And should be able to get the rotations across. Should TGF, but might not matter if they keep losing these duels. N9 taking down more, and low health now on Zhao Zhao. Gonna have to bring some magic to take down N9 and Elegant. They do drop another round here to SV. And now 4-3, winning an attacking side here on port is SV. And I do think that SV is playing this well. They've had very nice executes onto these sites and won some of the clutch situations. But you have to say, I feel like TGF's port defense has been pretty lackluster. This was that spot I was just talking about here that Chongwire is holding during the break, where it can be really easy to trade from this angle, and all you have to do is drop down, and you should be able to take at least one more trade. 18's going to start us off here with a kill onto Hi, and they decide to back out of this execute and might look to swing over to the A site. It is coming across pretty quickly. They will bypass mid and come through A long. Zaza keeping his head down. Gonna need to get some rotations over. He should have some idea that this is going on, and he should be calling it out now. TF gonna pick one up first, and in a nice position is there Zaza. Yeah, they call it. I hear the calls in the background that he is on the second floor. They do take him down. TF gonna pick up another one, trying his best to keep his team in this. And Anka gonna pick up one onto OO, but TF says, this is my round. Now sitting on 11 kills, trying his best to carry TGF through this defensive side. They have to. You just feel they have to pick up this last round on the defensive side to really have a chance moving forward here. Trade in mid there will even things up. And again, I just don't understand these aggressive positions unless, you know, OO just goes and gets a triple kill. But the odds of that work, it's such a ability play, in my opinion. You're stepping out into a clearing. You know, there's no cover for you if you don't hit those shots. But catches them off guard. Might be one of those situations. It's so crazy it'll actually work. And they will manage to stay positive on the defensive side. Although you have to feel it's not enough. It's just not quite enough to have only 5 rounds here on the defensive side, especially on port. If this were another map, if this were Mexico, you would say, hey, good job. We're definitely in a good spot here. Or Black Widow, it's perfectly fine there. But on port, well, I guess we'll find out. Let's see how SV plays this defense. Looking like a pretty similar aggressive hold there on that B site. There must be something about these aggressive holds there that's working in scrims, because I just don't see it. 18, they're playing so aggressively through the warehouses here. And it will be 18. Gonna be that first line of defense here on the B site. Trying to see if TF can't get anything done here before they pick a site. And I really, really like that decision right now, as he has definitely had the hot hand for TGF. Been a force to reckon with, I believe, at least 11 frags in the first half alone. Elegant gonna be holding on that A site. Gonna have to deal with the flash if they do choose that site, and it looks like we might see the box execute happen here. If Hi drops down, yep, it will be the box execute. Looks like it will be partially from the box and partially from long A. TF gonna drop the bomb to his buddy there. Probably gonna swing out wide here and try and take the duel with Elegant. And he does win it. And yeah, nice clean execute here onto the A site. 18 in an interesting spot here. But now that they know his position, he's gonna have to change it. And he's only got 35 seconds here to retake in a 1v3. Will be pretty hard, as TGF in good post-plant positions here. And they've set up a really nice crossfire. Shouldn't be able to trade more than 118 here. And he will get taken down immediately by Zaza. from the second floor balcony. And already a little bit of life here for TGF in this first half, or in this second half. Again, I really like the idea of putting TF in a position to carry right now, as he's been showing today, especially on this port map, that he can do it. It's been a lot more team play out of SV. Had some really clean executes on their attacking side. Still playing with this same defense we saw last round, except a little bit. And 18 will see, again, it's that one and done that bothers me about those locations. We see it again here, that you trade 2 for 2, but why does that benefit you as the defensive side here on port? It's so hard to get more than 1 kill from those positions, assuming the blacklist side is moving together. But they must know something I don't, as it's both teams electing to hold that position. And again, Anka gonna push up into a similar position here aggressively. Does look like an A execute might come out, and there is nobody home. A couple people in the area will be able to get there on the rotate quickly between Double Q and Elegant. Elegant is checking this walkway. They don't smoke it out yet, and they won't, and he's gonna get that first one there onto Zaza, who had the bomb, and he will miss that second one, but now in a bit of a rough spot, caught in the open, and they will go down in the end. Cholar and Hi both dropping. Nice shot there by Elegant, gonna save the round. Would like to see, perhaps they were out of smokes at that point, would like to see that position smoked off. Elegant gonna get a nice pick there onto TF. That kind of aggressive play, I actually don't mind. If you're going to put the sniper in that position and then hold that line and be able to fall back immediately, I don't mind it. But putting 2 riflers in there, holding very, very close quarters lines, seems just wasteful to me more than anything. I will stop harping on it here, and does look like we could see a hard B execute here, 4-man strong. We will see the flashes come out, and it will find onto N9. And N9 going to be able to clean up from this angle. Hi does end up trading quite well there. And a 2-on-2, into the 2-on-2 we go. Bomb has yet to go down. Could be going down soon, but instead they are going to look for the trades. And Zaza going to pick one up. Now only Elegant left. Zaza going to pick up the double kill to finish it. And it looks like a timeout will be called. It is TGF's timeout. They do put 1 round on the board. But let's see, it would be TF most likely who called that timeout, unless it was the coach. And a little bit curious about what they wanted to discuss. If it were me, I might note that it seems like SV is holding super deep on that defensive side for point A, and super aggressively for point B, which to me, if you can smoke out Elegant's position, which we've seen both teams use on that staircase with a lot of cover, it should be pretty easily smoked out there. They could be able to just get pretty much free onto that A site and be able to hold that high ground to try and close out some more rounds here down the line. That, or we saw TF excuse me, let me collect my thoughts for a second. We saw the two-pronged A assault from the box and long A entrance, the long A way back there, where TF took a big wide swing when all the flashes came out and was able to pick up Elegant on the A bomb site. I definitely think the A executes have looked better actually from both teams, even though I don't agree with the B holds. I think both sites can be executed on right now with the way that the defense is being run. I do like this defense a lot more out of SV. Might like to see WQ play from a bit of a different angle here. Either up a bit more from those boxes. Smoke is going to come out here onto the B choke point. And some more equipment is going to come out. That looks like another smoke there. And maybe thinking about trying to creep in behind the smoke here is TGF. But doesn't look like that is the play. Could see the box execute come out here, although it looks like we might see them come through mid, and that would be interesting. We haven't seen that yet from either side on this map. Does look like Zhao Zhao will be the mid execute here coming through. WQ going to get an early one, but traded out, and trades will go pretty heavily in favor of SV here. Only TF left alive. And I definitely don't mind that call there from TGF. It didn't work out, but definitely giving us a different look here, which will give SV one more thing to worry about. Although maybe not as worried as they might be had it worked. Would you see now 2 men holding on the balcony, a 3-stack here on the A site. TGF still in the lead here. 7-6 having a really nice attacking side themselves. And this could be trouble if the box execute comes out here, as there is a 3-stack on this A site. And that grenade's going to start things off real nicely. Tagging, getting some huge tag damage onto Hi and OO. Looked like it hit OO in the head there. Very aggressive push there by Hi isn't going to find it. And WQ going to pick up 2. And 9 on the rotation isn't going to find one. But it does look like they are going to be able to close this out. Yeah, and it will be, I believe, 18 there with the triple kill. And was a little bit closer than it looked like it might play out with the defensive positionings of SV. And again, we see Elegant looking for the same pick, and he might find it onto TF, and instead it's going to be TF finding it onto Elegant. He was prepared for it the second time around, and TF going to look for another one down mid, but is smoked off pretty heavily. It is clearing now. Zhao Zhao looking for it into the warehouses, spraying through smoke. Isn't going to find anybody. Chungar missing the jump. Will he make the second one? He will. And does look like Hi falling and having to climb it again. Does look like we might see the AX. So similar to what we saw, they did pull this off very successfully once. Should see TF swinging wide here, looking up on the balcony. And yeah, it does look like this execute is going to work again here. They are in the advantage and should be able to get onto the site. Although nice kills here by Anka, and 18 are actually going to put it into question. He's going to pick up another one here, and now into a 2-on-2. The bomb is down. But yeah, very nicely played there. Double kill for Zaza and a triple kill for 18. The execute was clean there, and they got onto the site pretty free, but SV just hitting shots to win the round. And that will put them back into the lead here, 7-8. Could see overtime again. Very aggressive push here from SV. Will they be ready for it? Chomar going to need to trade out another one. He is going to get 2. It's going to be a 2-for-2 there. All other members still full health here. And I still think that does favor the blacklist side here. Especially with TF still alive. We might see the exact same thing come out here. Try and flash up onto the balcony. Instead, TF thinking about just trying to take the duel straight up. Elegant is actually going to back out of it and rotate towards mid. And that will leave A bomb site pretty much completely open. Making a bit of noise here as Hi-Hi. It does have the M4, so it won't be too loud. And it does look like the slow creep onto A site could be in store here. And again, this is that position I'd really like to see smoked off before you make this execute. But TF is going to check it, but he's only going to have just the very top of his head to shoot at. And he won't hit it. Elegant's going to win that fight. And you can see just how hard it is to take that fight there. I really would like to see the smoke come out to prevent that. And a nice headshot there by 18 will put SV on match point here. TGF going to have to pull some magic together, put 2 rounds to get in a row together, and push it into overtime to stay in this one. Otherwise, we're going to see SV standing alone at the top of the table and setting a mark for AG to try and keep in our second match of the day, if they want to continue to tie for first. It will be a hard B execute, and they are going to come out ahead in the trade here, 3v2, and now it's going to be the 3v1, and they will put 1 round onto the board here. TF going to finish it off with a grenade, and now 7-8. It's all going to come down to this round. The point difference is huge if TGF can somehow come back into this and take this map and push us to a third. They're going to need to force the overtime here and then win it on the overtime map. We've already seen 1 overtime between them today. Can we make it 2? Looks like we might see another hard B execute, and it is going to come out almost immediately. Anka able to fall back down below, and that could be signal big trouble here for TGF. It is a 1-on-4 now here for TF, and he's going to get dunked himself by 18, and that's going to be the 2-0 for SV. It definitely didn't feel like a 2-0. Definitely felt really, really close here between the two sides. First map, Black Widow, 9-9 in regular time, and then 5-0 by SV in overtime. And then here on port, they get it done in regular time at 10-8. really very, very close match here, and a lot of fun to watch. Wish they could have gone to overtime, so we could have seen a little bit more between these two. And I definitely do feel like it's just TGF who needs just a little bit more time to grow as a team, and they're definitely ready to challenge the top of that table. I think they showed it today. Unfortunately, it wasn't good enough to allow them to come away with any points. But of course, congratulations to SV. That will put 3 points on the board for them, putting them at 13. That's going to be a number AG is going to have to match in our next matchup. They're going to have to do it against HG, who hasn't looked amazing this year. But they are off of a win over White Sharks. And they're always going to be ready to play their rivals in AG. So we'll see how that's going to shake out coming up next. For me, I was probably most impressed with TF's performance for TGF, and then maybe 18, I think maybe 18's performance on SV. 18 had a really nice day today, picking up plenty of 2 and 3Ks galore, and seems like stepping into that new role as shot caller when Emzin's not there hasn't seemed to slow him down, hasn't seemed to affect his play. So definitely will be looking forward to see how SV does in the future, as it looks like Emzin doesn't have any plans to return to the lineup anytime soon. Perhaps he is truly going to retire. And here we see from Blacklist TF. Yeah, this was, I think, the best execute we saw out of TGF. Was here on the attack. I really liked this play. And they did it really well. I still would like to see this position that we kept seeing Elegant hold from, although he is on the balcony for this one. He's going to get sniped out by TF. I believe they are in a 4-on-5 situation. No, it is a full 5v5 here. It's just going to be a set play here from TGF. The flashes come out. Most of them land. We do see quite a few trades coming back and forth across. OO going to pick up 2. TF going to pick up 2. Is going to get shot in the back there. And then will it be OO who picks up the 3K on the round here? Does slow down as 18 trying to come from a different angle. And will be creeping down towards the site, and looks like it will be it's all or Chomar in the end that actually takes it out. I think was a really nice set piece from them. I would have rather seen them run that in the last round. I think it's a lot to ask for that hard B execute to work twice in a row for you. They couldn't pull it off, but I think the 2-0 is not indicative of how close this match really was. Back and forth the whole way. Almost saw 2 overtimes. But in the end, SV putting the points on the board when it matters. And they're going to walk away rewarded with the 2-0. And that will give them sole possession of first place now with 13 points. AG will have to match that if they want to stay up there with their match against HG next. I think very, very similar situation to SV versus TGF. A team that can easily challenge AG, but you would still favor AG. Especially with how HG has looked this year. Maybe not as strong as in previous years, but they'll definitely bounce back from that. We should be getting a look at here at some social media postings. Again, the question, topic today is interesting places to hold on bomb sites. We've heard discussion of playing from the from the lighting on sub base, as well as a position we just saw on port on the B point from that elevated position that I believe you have to be boosted into. I'm trying to think of some other positions offhand. We used to see a lot of boosted positions. Here discussing sub base. The small staircase on A. Oh, okay, yeah. There are 2 boxes there. I don't know if everyone remembers in the Season 6 Grand Finals on the 5th map, the first round, Haonan sniped from those was playing from those boxes, and AG's Bebe walked into the bullets and had no idea. In the end, Haonan had completed a triple kill and helped White Sharks grab their first point on the map. I do remember that. That was... So, again, I had discussed that White Sharks had won the CFPL recently, a couple days ago, and that would make it then Season 6 that it was. And that was a really nice set there. It went all the way to 5 maps. If you haven't ever seen it, go back, look it up. I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere. Here on Mexico, they're discussing in the tunnels from the defensive side, at the tunnel exit, you can use I know this spot. You can have a teammate boost you up to that balcony above the boxes, and then you can have a friend anyway, from that position you get a lot of kills, is what they're saying. And then you can have another friend from the exit. Oh, I guess lure in the blacklist players and then mow them down. I guess secret spots, there are a lot. And also, I don't know what map that is. Well, it went by too quickly for me anyway. But I do like that spot. I know I've seen some teams practicing that spot on Mexico. Never saw it really work out. Oh, I definitely saw the American team practicing that spot at WCA. Didn't really work out for them in the end, but I could definitely see how it could be useful. There are some interesting boost spots out there on those maps, which are legal. The only thing illegal about boost spots is if you plant the bomb on them, which I think is possible to do on sub base from that lighting that they're discussing. You can plant the bomb there, but you need 2 people to defuse it, which makes it an illegal plant. Don't do it, guys. Other than that, I've definitely, especially in sub base from the lighting, it can be such a difficult thing to deal with as the attacking side, because that just adds from locations you have to check, especially if you're coming straight out of in the locker room, just above that door, the entrance to the locker room. Boy, it can be really difficult if you don't. It can be difficult to check that lighting, and if you don't check it, you could just get mowed down one at a time. But again, if you want to share with us your favorite secret spots on these maps, please use the QR code that you will see during the break to post on Weibo with that hashtag CFPL. But we'll be right back after this. Welcome back here, ready to get into our second match of the day between AG and HG. With that 2-0 victory from SV over TGF, that's going to put a lot of pressure here onto AG to try and take down HG 2-0 if they want to stay in that first spot. But it could be possible here, you know, as we were talking about, HG isn't in the best situation team chemistry wise at the moment. I mean, I guess that's the only thing you could say as to why their performances haven't been where you expect from them. But you never know how quickly that can turn around. You know, they're coming off of that win against White Sharks, was the 2-1, and it's never going to be easy to take down HG. That we know. And again, I promised you guys good matches today, and first one definitely delivered. We got one overtime. Ended up being a 2-0, but looked for all the world like we were going to go to three maps and at least 2 overtimes. Now, looking forward towards the AG-HG matchup here. Looks like it will be HG who won the coin toss, but I'm not sure yet. We'll have to get to that. First of all, we would like to thank our sponsors there on your screen, AOC Rock and DX Racer. Can fulfill a lot of your gaming needs there with those companies, as well as, of course, Tencent, Smilegate, and VSPN for bringing this to us. Looks like we will go ahead and take a look at the lineups here, starting with AG on the left. And of course, I'm saying of course too much, but as we know, AG this year returning to the old lineup. They mixed it up, it didn't work, and they're tired of not being in first place, so they brought back the classic lineup here, Bean with a massive KDA of 1.52. He's never looked good on any team other than AG, but it's really nice to see him getting back to form on this team. Even there, sitting at a 1.09, and you just look at this AG lineup and you wonder, where do you try and attack them from? You know, even it's not a place to attack. The one person you could say maybe who doesn't carry as much of his weight as Dono, but he's sitting there with those, you know, he's the brains of the operation. He's definitely out there shot calling, and he's made a name for it. He's got plenty of titles to his name to prove it. LSN there, of course, is famous for being able to use any weapon at any time. We've seen a lot more of that lately from the likes of N9 and Chong-R in our last match, both of which picking up the op whenever they feel like it. And then JE, of course, with that 1.14, also good to see him getting back to form. Had been underperforming a little bit in the past couple of seasons. Look at that headshot rate, though. 65% headshots. And being there on your screen, he definitely looked uncomfortable after leaving AG. He was replaced by 70kg for a little bit. And then 70kg did retire and is now back on the team and looks a lot better. AG just never looked comfortable with the likes of 70kg and Chong-R. They've tried mixing up the roster a little bit, and it just never looked nearly as good as this roster. And Dono, they're both captain, owner, and coach. Well, not coach. Coach is Sir there in the background. Should catch a glimpse of him. Well-known coach there for CrossFire. Probably the best-known coach in the business. Right there in the camo in the background. There, Lisanon LSN on your screen. lots of history behind all of these players. You know, you can see if we see Compound played or Black Widow, you have pictures of all these guys on both of those maps, I believe, from previous CFPL victories. And it didn't take them long at all to put it back together once they came back. And over here on HG, it's a bit strange why they can't get it working again. As if you look at this lineup again, you know, you see where's the weak link here as well. K coming back to HG after spending some time trying to build up a club of his own. Couldn't get them out of the lower leagues and has decided to come back to HG. WN99 here with that 1.11 KDA. Always been a bit of a rock for HG. NP the leader here. Not sure what's up with this KDA. This is the second time that it's shown up blank. It's definitely not his first game. Maple here, newer to the team, but has been a good performer here for a while. Maybe in a bit of a slump here at that 0.78. And then Minnow, always a playmaker to keep your eye on. And that actually raises the question. This is the second. It's been a while since we have seen Whoosh in the lineup. I wonder if he left the team. He is still. We do see Harlan on the bench. Interesting. So it does look like Wushin has left the team. Harlan is still on the team, but he has been sitting the bench here. Will be interesting if Maple can't keep his performance up as to whether or not they decide to bring Harlan back into the lineup. We'll be looking to NP and K to lead the team here, as we said, against in their matchup against White Sharks. K, of course, a legacy player, been in the league for a long time, returning to HG. And Minnow there on your screen. One of the better lurker players out there for me. I always enjoy watching HG play, as they're very momentum. They're a very momentum driven team. If they have the momentum, they're pretty much unstoppable. Will be a match. The featured matchup here will be between WN99 and Bean. Don't know how much we'll see them dueling, as Bean, of course, is an Opper and WN99 an AK user. AK an AR user, let's just say that. But if we look at their stats here, WN99 sitting there with a big number, 203 kills, but Bean having the much better KDA, maybe something you would typically expect from a sniper on one of the best teams. HG will ban new Black Widow, and I think that's a good idea. And yeah, sub base going to be the ban here for AG. And Kara going to be the second ban from HG. And we'll pick Mexico, and AG will pick Compound. And we will see AG's going to go ahead and select to take the global risk side here for Mexico. And I'm glad to see AG banning out sub-base. We saw HG in their last map. I can't remember who who I think it was against White Sharks. I think it was against White Sharks, was it? I'm just going to check it. But I was so surprised. I was basically shocked to see that Subbase wasn't banned out against Hungel or against HG. It's so strange to me to see that happen, as they have such a good Subbase. And I'm glad to see that is... Oh, it was MGC. Their last match against MGC, they came off with a 2-0, and MGC selected Subbase into HG, which seems foolhardy to me. I think it is their best map. Of course, AG gonna get to play on Compound for their map, which I did, as I said, they have a picture of that lineup on Compound. So you know that they are ready to play that map for sure. We are looking at the paths here into the map, the last one there, and that should signal us getting into game here. HG and AG, first map onto Mexico. Let's go. Here we go. It will be HG on the attack, as AG did select to defend. And a very aggressive run up from both sides into the tunnels. And the trade's going to go in AG's favor. Minnow going to be playing on his own here towards that A site. And ooh, a nice kill there from Dono on the A site. They should be able to close off on him here, but he's going to get another one. And now it's going to be K all alone here. Going to need to find a way to complete this 1v3 without the bomb. He's going to need to win this duel to start it off against LSN. And he will get the open up, but LSN ducks nicely and lands the headshot. And that's going to be AG jumping out to the early 1-0 lead. Very, very quick round there. You know, of course, that can always happen on Mexico. It's going to be, again, just an all-out brawl in the tunnels. And this time goes in the direction of HG. And they're going to take their winnings and back out. Now a 5-on-2 here. Most likely we'll see the bomb head towards B site in a situation like this. Although LSN not going to make it easy for him, as he already drops one, but even will drop on the A site and is going to come across freely onto the A site. Bomb will go down. LSN's going to get flashed out. Lots of... Oh, going to be an aggressive push there from K. And that's fine. You know, when you have the amount of manpower you do. LSN escaping with only 1 HP. Gonna need to try and pull off the 1v3. He can one-tap a couple of people on HG, but NP sitting there at full health gonna be the real issue. And he is gonna stand more out in the open here. And LSN just apparently gonna decide to not do it at all. I think they might have just taken that as an opportunity to have a bit of a pause and discuss what happened there, because either that or it might have been some sort of computer issue. Very strange, as there's nothing to lose. You don't have the economy factor here in CrossFire. And even if you did, he got killed by the bomb. So, a little bit surprising there. looks like might have been a brief technical timeout. But that will leave things even at 1 apiece. A breath of wind would have taken down LSN regardless. Oh, and that's going to be a nice kill there by Bean. Pretty easy shot in the end to make there. Looks like we might see a hard execute here onto the A site. Only going to trade one from that position, but it is going to come out massively in the favor of AG here. And nice hold there. LSN picking up 2. We hear his name called in the background with a nice, good round from there. Good round from him there. And looks like, looking at the defensive setup here, the tunnel shenanigans have ended. And will look a bit more standard. Smoke going to come out to close off the corner here towards middle. And always, typically where we see a lot of firefights is at that corner. And I said the tunnel shenanigans were over, but I guess I was lying. They will smoke off the entrance though. Bit of spray coming back and forth from both teams through the tunnels, but HG will back out, and I think that's a good decision. AG was definitely ready for that play, but they may be able to use that information to glean that mid might be pretty open. Smoke's going to come across onto that possible sniping position through mid. It looks like we will see the A execute with that duel happening. It's going to force HG's hand a little bit, but they actually decide against it, and K could be in a lot of trouble. He ends up... What a shot there from K, using the muzzle flash as an indicator. Is able to win that trade, but coming back and forth now. That's a big double kill there by MP. Gonna let them onto the site pretty free here, and it's gonna be basically impossible for Bean here on the retake, as HG in good post plant positions and probably aren't gonna give him much to look at. And MP does decide to step out and take the duel, but is covered there well by Minnow. And fast and furious on Mexico as it can be, and looks like we might see more action in the tunnels as 3 men from HG step in. Nobody from AG is going to step in aggressively, and JE going to be all alone trying to hold this. Does manage to get a nice flash out and back up, but now should be utter chaos here in the defensive side. AG getting flushed out into mid, and the bomb is over here towards the B site, and everybody is kind of cut off from each other. The battle lines have completely reversed here. A very interesting round. Even kind of stuck on the A site, and Dono kind of stuck in mid, but K kind of stuck in mid as well. Very strange round, and it will be K going down to even. And now you can hear the frantic calls in the background. What a strange round here we had. And nice win there by Dono, gonna make it a 2-on-1. Still should be a very difficult retake here, assuming WN99 and MP play it correctly. Oh, MP getting tacked through the boxes though. Now on super low health. Nice flash there. He is going to reposition. I don't know if Dono knows that, but he's going to have to make his play now, and he will get peeked out there by MP. Nice position change there. Did manage to do it during the flash while leaving Dono little idea where he was. That was a super interesting round. They managed to get out really cleanly through the tunnels, and instead of trying to take the fight, AG fell back, but the only way to fall back was into mid here. Was into mid there where we see that smoke on the minimap. And it ended up meaning that a bunch of people were cut off from each other on both sides. But in the end, it works out for HG. And again, we're going to see more tunnel shenanigans. Not the most common play to see here, but it's been very, very interesting so far. They do check that balcony spot. Nobody is there. LSN's going to spray down. Not going to find anything with it. And HG's going to reconsider the play here. Sitting out here with that 3-2 advantage. Looks like they will move down towards the gully here. Looks like they might try to storm through the smoke on the main door. Actually, it is going to be a B play on the quick rotation, and this could work out pretty well if they can do it at pace. Bean going to start it off well here for AG. Nice pick there, but NP going to close out 2 kills, and clever round here from HG, but it's still a 3-on-3. WN99 needs to reposition here, and he is going to hold this. Should be very difficult for Dono. I don't think he has any idea where WN99 is, and he will find him out there, but WN99 wisely not taking the trade, and K gonna cover him on that, gonna set up that nice crossfire, and AG gonna take a timeout off of that. And that was a really nice tactical play there by HG, really dragging AG around the map. They started with that poking into the tunnels, which had to make AG a little bit nervous, but I believe it was LSN, didn't call out any rotations there for it. And then they set up the play for A. They threw all of the equipment, all their grenades, as if they were setting up for an A take, and then immediately rotated through B, through middle onto the B site, and were able to get two nice entry frags from NP and get the bomb down. And it ended up being pretty close due to some nice duels by AG, but then was quickly turned back around into that 1v3 that it ended with. Definitely a very good round there out of HG, and I don't mind this timeout by AG. I imagine that would be Sir, the coach there, Sir, probably calling this timeout. Always nice to have a coach with you to be able to see that map from a different perspective and to see how the plays are going. Definitely been an interesting take on Mexico so far from HG. I do enjoy all of this tunnel work they've been doing, because when it's worked, it's been really the way that it cuts off that rotation from A to B. Looks so devastating for the defensive side. It's so hard to get out of those tunnels well, though. But now that HG has solidified that as an option for them, they force AG to worry about it, and that's moving forward. That's going to weaken the defenses on A or B site here. JE gonna step in towards mid, and LSN gonna be holding mid here, and that's gonna help out a lot. MP, they're gonna fall back from the tunnels, and that's the reason I like these tunnel plays. They got the trade 1-for-1, and that's perfectly fine on the attacking side, and then it forces a lot of awkward rotations from the defensive side. It does look like I have lagged out a little bit here. Oh, now we are back at live. K there should not have won that trade, but is barely able to get away with it there. And again, I think you guys are on live, but my screen here has frozen a little bit, so bear with me a little bit. I guess I could just translate what's coming through the comms here if I can. We are back to live now. 1v2 here. Maple does have the bomb, and AG going to split up here and cover bomb sites separately. Not usually the best way to do this. I think wise there from Maple to try and relocate from the way he was taking that duel. And yeah, I think good idea here. That's such a hard duel to fight there. But that probably will make him think that B is completely free. Dono doesn't hit the shots though. Maple on tiny amount of HP, but he gets the headshot. And you have to feel like Dono should have been able to close that out. Oh, and can he pick up that headshot? Oh, he does through the crack. What a shot there, Maple. And listen to his teammates roar. And that was a huge round there from Maple. Played it very smartly. You have to say that round is on Dono, as he had free shots into a very low health member. Maple was sitting there maybe on 20 HP, and Dono maybe landing one shot into the leg or the leg or the arm, and here they come through the tunnels again. Does look like it might get shut down this time pretty heavily by AG, and it will. And that's a nice round there from AG to settle things down here, but HG already picking up 5 rounds on the attack. Gonna try to make it 6 here with this last round. And I've definitely liked this attacking side here from HG, looking a lot better than they have earlier in the season. Looking revitalized after that 2-0 over MGC. And might be the slowest round we've had here so far. Completely leaving the tunnels alone here. I like this change of pace here from HG. I wouldn't mind to see the actual set play that they set up with that B rotation last round, because that B rotation is covered heavily now. They do successfully being expecting the tunnel play, and he might get rewarded for it. He's gonna see that spray, and we will see. It does look like HG's gonna back out again. I would really just like to see a set play here onto the A site. You've given them so many other options to worry about, to just run the most standard play on this map would, to me, be the biggest surprise for AG. But it might not matter if LSN's just gonna win that 2v1. We are in a 3-on-3 situation. K sitting on just a teeny bit of health. And these frag grenade's gonna take him down at this point, as well as pretty much a shot to center mass. 3-on-3 will be here. Oh, he's gonna pick it up there, Bean. Nice shot there. Good news for HG is that it is on to K, and it actually won't matter at all as they go down like dominoes there at the end. And all things considered, a reasonable first half for both teams. I think AG might feel a little bit lucky to get out of that half only 5-4. I really would have just liked to see, once they set up for that A play, to just actually pull the standard A execute and that wasn't the call in the end. But they definitely had a shot there going in 3-3 onto a bomb site. But just couldn't win the duels. And will be a side change here. We'll look to see how HG does on the defensive side, and if AG can bring the same kind of creativity to their attacking side that we saw from HG. That's pretty standard stuff there. Lots of grenades coming around the corner to mid. We should just call that the death corner. Might as well, right? So many people have dropped there in the past. And we do see multiple members here coming up from the gully, and it could be an A execute here from the stairs. And it will be NP in a good spot here. Gonna get to see a lot of backsides, and that's gonna get stuffed completely. Dono all alone, hiding in the corner with the bomb, gonna get dropped. 2 there on the round for Minnow and MP, and 1 for Maple, completely stuffing that first round for AG. And time to see what else you have in the playbook here, AG. That was the play I would have actually liked to see come out from HG last round. They set up for it and then just didn't do it. We saw them set up for it once and then rotate immediately through to the B site, which was a really, really nice play. I hope we get to see that one on replay, unless we see a better one coming up here, which I'm also totally okay with. AG done a pretty good job here so far, getting some of the utility out of HG, but holding on to all of their flashes and most of their smokes still here for HG. It will toss a few more out, try and slow this down. K gonna consider pushing through this smoke in tunnels, or at least use the cover to creep up into a pretty aggressive position. And the question will be if JE decides to clear that box or not. He's definitely thinking about it. Back here to mid, and it looks like we will see the play onto this B site. Oh, nice shot there. Gonna slow it down. But back and forth, so many trade kills. And it's gonna end up looking pretty good for HGK coming from that tunnel, that position he was holding in tunnels. And man, you can hear the hype train roll in here for HG. This is what I was talking about how they're such a snowbally team. If they get that momentum working for them, it's pretty hard for any team to shut them down. But AG, definitely the more calm, collected team. Typically, they have already used their timeout, and they've yet to put a round here on the board on the attacking side. Still plenty of time to work here. 2 minutes on the clock. I wouldn't mind to see AG, especially after that last round, slow down the pace a little bit. See if Bean can't get something done for you. He is playing really aggressively, looking for something. Oh, is going to catch the tiniest little peek there onto Maple. Maple going to get called out for an airstrike there. And multiple grenades hitting him right in the dome. And some trades coming across here. Gonna still keep it in the favor of AG. NP getting tagged really heavily there. Did take the op into this round. Minnow gonna trade before he goes down. And now into a 2-on-2. Looks like NP is gonna elect to try and regroup here with WN99. And JE will also come regroup here with Dono. Looks like we're going to see a true 2v2 here on the A site. Dono going to make the call here. Is it through doors or onto the B site, actually, perhaps? Now, splitting up again. NP watching the tunnels. Should hear them. Isn't able to pick one up coming through the gate. And looks like they do know his position. Going to be very difficult on the retake here for MP, especially if he is looking the wrong way. He's going to need to pick out GE first. He's got to get one first somehow solo. And he does actually get it with the pistol. And is going to actually be able to get the Barrett out. He's going to have a shot at it. Oh, and it's not going to work out there in the end. Misses the no-scope. But pretty surprising to see him manage to win that pistol duel up against Dono there on the site. Dono having substantially more health than him. And Bean gonna see if he can't get a pick off through this tunnel, and he does. Just off of feel alone. Use the force, Luke. Use your feelings. And that's going to give the man advantage here to AG. Bomb is going to be picked up here now by Dono. Might be considering the A execute here. Still plenty of time to let Bean continue to work here. And see if they can't get... Oh, nice damage there onto Bean. Almost taking him down. Minnow does fall back. Does take about half his damage in... Or half his life in damage. And AG will get a couple more... A little bit more utility out of HG here before the execute comes. Nice flash there, gonna slow AG down, but starting to run pretty low here on that utility. Only 3 flashes to their name. Dono's gonna toss a smoke there at the corner, and Bean gonna pick up another one, and even gonna pick up a third. And that should be a pretty free round here for AG, looking to try and make it a clean ace. Only K left alive, and he's got a lot of low health members to shoot at, but he's got a lot of directions to look, and it will be Bean who secures that ace there for them. And after all of that, it's turned into a 7-6 here. Feel like that last round really forced HG to quiet down a lot. And silence on the comms is not good. And again, Bean gonna start them off with an early advantage here. NP hasn't been picking up the op too much on this defensive side. I think Mexico, definitely one of those maps you can make a case for not using it. He is going to go down there to Dono though, and again into a pretty heavy man advantage situation here. Dono spraying around, isn't going to find anything, but looking for almost a flawless round here. Only Bean taking the tiniest bit of damage. And WN99, the only one left alive, is going to get taken down. Does tag Bean at least to make it look respectable. And a very, very nice timeout called here by HG. That's 2 clean aces in a row. And I think the discussion at this point should be pretty easy. How are we getting picked off by Bean at the start of every round? Should be the topic of conversation. WN99 giving us a little something there. But they've got to do something about Bean. they can't keep going into these rounds down a man. Or in some cases two. K there on your screen's been playing that lurking role really well today, but we haven't seen it come out too big in any recent rounds. But that was a huge play from him, coming from that tunnel position he had snuck into with that smoke. Managed to pull off of that position and catch a lot of people from their flanks and clean up that round for HG. And really, it looked like it might be all over for AG after that 2v1 that Maple pulled off. But never a team to be tilted as AG. Definitely have the experience in spades to trust the process and be able to be more even-keeled here in their approach to the game. Maple there on your screen. What a great 2v1 he had there in that round. Definitely was a bit of a gift there. As there's no way Dono should have missed those shots on him. Got to open up free with him looking. Got to open up free into his flank. And nothing happened. AG gonna continue to give Bean room to work here as the bomb is not even moved from the spawn. And he will get tagged there. Not too heavily. Can continue to have... Excuse me. Will continue to can continue to have a look-see to see what he can pick up. The bomb is going to be retrieved there by Dono. Smoke going to come out on the door, on the A doors. On the front door there. And very slow now into this 15th round, but still plenty of time to work. Smoke is fading on that A door. See if they re-up that. Ooh, nice kill there by NP onto the Bean. And they found a way to shut him down, at least in this round. It's actually going to be AG who smokes off the doors this time around. And looking like they're going to use that as cover to rotate through. And they're going to charge through it. Here's MP. He's going to pick up a huge double kill there. And now JE all alone, but he picks up two. They lined up really nice for him. And he should be able to get out with the bomb here if he's careful. And be able to get a plant onto B. He is going to consider... He's going to consider making them wait for a bit, but he doesn't have time to make it over to the A site. And they know that he's got to plant soon. MP trying to poke him out. They will use that flash to get onto the site. And he's in a rough spot here, JE, and he will go down. And the timeout doing work there for HG. As instead of being taken down by Bean early in the round, it was Bean who's the first kill in the round. Well done by MP. Took that trade fast and wide and caught Bean a bit off guard. Now moving into one of our final rounds here. HG having a chance to put it on map point. AG looking to tie it up at 8 apiece here. And it will be Bean again, working here through mid on the boxes in the gully. Doesn't look like he's going to find anybody. HG holding really deep positions and leaving B site completely uncovered. It looks like they will push aggressively through the tunnels. And JE going to be the first casualty, but even going to pick up 2 down there. And K going to cut their losses and back up. And a bit of an interesting play there from HG. I like the idea. A little bit unlucky that AG surprisingly had 2 members in the tunnels. And it does look like the bomb's going to head over towards the B site. K gonna have to produce some magic here to try and stop this execute. And actually it's going to rotate back over to the A site. And back and forth they go. Good rotations here from AG, keeping the members of HG completely unaware as to the location, as to the actual play. Very good round there from AG, especially towards the later half. Does look like HG thinking about holding. Oh, NP looked for an early trade there down through mid. Didn't find it. He's thinking about looking for it again. Should probably hear that shot behind him. But usually don't need much information to know that somebody's there. It's not a question of if somebody's there. It's a question of how many, usually. And currently, it is 3. As we see the bomb, Dono holding it, of course, and 3 others stacked into that area. Bean, again, looking like he's going to be the man, and he does take down MP. MP looked like he pushed through that smoke to try and... I'm not sure what his plan was there. I guess to try and kill Bean again. It would have been the same position he did it from last round, but there wasn't that smoke there in the way. It will get smoked out again, and K's going to creep into the smoke in mid. We've seen him have success with a similar play there towards tunnels, but it does look like it's going to be the gully execute here. Maple in a nice spot here to stuff it, but he gets... They do check that angle, and Ellison going to get 2 on the entry. And it looks like AG is actually going to push us to map point here. K can't win that duel either, and that would be a team kill there by JE. Most likely will not matter. WN99 gonna make it a little bit interesting here as he is at full health. The bomb is going down in 15 seconds, and he has no way to retake. Very well set up there by AG. Popping out from 3 angles and setting up that crossfire. And looking like a pretty aggressive push here by AG into the tunnels. Again, it's Bean peeking out aggressively, looking for that pick. Doesn't look like he'll find it quite yet. But there is no smoke. NP there, seeming to be a magnet for Bean. Seems to always know where he is. Looks like Bean may have gone back to spawn to change out his weapon. Nice long range smoke there. And he did. Yeah, having not yet fired a round, he went all the way back to spawn, and they're going to go 5 AKs here, or 5 ARs here. And a nice double frag on the entry again by LSN. Not an impossible retake here for HG. They're going to need to put the magic together. Can't find Bean through the smoke. He saw the muscle flash. He will find it in the end. Mabel going to pick up another one. Can't turn to take the third. And AG going to finish it in regular time, 10-8. Definitely did not look that way moving forward, but that's a huge offensive side there from AG. It just looked to go more and more in their favor as the rounds went on. But that's pretty devastating. It went 7-4 in favor of HG and then ends 10-8 in favor of AG. They put 3 rounds together at the end there. 7, 8, 9, 10. 8, 9, 10 were all in a row there to win it out there for AG. And that's a bit of a worry, right? As Mexico was HG's selection. Or, no, it wasn't, was it? Mexico was AG's selection. We will be moving on to HG's map. But for the life of me, I can't remember what it was. Compound. No, it's AG's map, Compound. I got there, guys, eventually. It took me a minute. So, HG now in a bit of danger, in danger of going down 2-0 again, or for the second match of the day. But very, very tight one there for map 1, going 10-8 in favor of AG. It definitely felt like it was HG's map to lose for most of it. And then at the end, it just seemed like AG quietly taking round after round. And in the end, that ended with them picking up map 1. Again, there is the QR code if you would like to get in on this conversation about the interesting points to hold on each map. I'm still waiting to see at least one English post here. And that it can be done, of course, through your Weibo social media account. Let's go ahead and look at a replay here. I would really like to see that round from... Yeah, I do think that it is this round from HG, which was really, really well played, if it's that round. Yeah, it is. On the attack, HG attacks the B site with success. And it's at some point there 3v2. But yeah, you see they set up, they do all the hard work to set up an A play. And then immediately rotate through B off of that fake. And AG bites hard onto it. They push aggressively through the smoke. And AG has completely bought into this A assault. Being here all alone does take one down on the entry, but MP picking up these two is huge. And then as the rotations come back across, The WN99 left in that lurking position, picks up a couple, and now into that 3-on-1. Dono ends up going down 2K from the side angle. Yeah, right there. Very well set up there for that last kill as well. I think that was the best looking tactical round of the map. Either that one or it would have been fun to look at that round where HG came through the tunnels and AG fell back to mid, but people got left on both sides of the lines, and it looked a lot like a free-for-all match with how everybody was completely in crazy positions by the end of it. Anyway, so here someone says my favorite is on Black Widow behind the train. You can see A long. You can also see the bridge. And you can also be able to protect the point. Also, you also must buy... Oh, you also must sacrifice a team member to draw them out. Oh, good God. I don't know. I think it's especially easy to shoot people in the back. The best place to shoot people, the easiest way to shoot people in the back is by the New Year's map on a bridge. Under the A bridge door, there is a box. Behind that box, normally people don't check that location. Oh man. Whatever. I can't get through that one. There's so much. Not enough time. Here saying on sub base, on top of the locker room, the 4 boxes. Anyway, of course you can scan that QR code and show off what you think are good positions to hold by using your social media Weibo to post with that hashtag CFPL. Should be headed in for a break here briefly before we come back with our second map here on Compound. That is, of course, AG's map. I imagine we will see HG take... Ooh. Actually, I'm very curious to see what they'll take. We'll find out after this.
专为游戏竞技定制，冠军战队专属选择，龙珠女子战队倾城代言，专业电竞显示器 iGun 爱攻。
Welcome back again to the CFPL. Getting ready to head into our second map here between HG and AG. On to Compound we go. And one of my favorite maps is Compound. I think there's a lot of creative ways to attack it, which is why I'm wondering if HG won't select the attack starting off. I do think it is still a slightly favored for the defensive side. Maybe like a 5-4. I just don't... I don't know. It's hard to say which direction I would favor this map, personally. I think a lot of people would say it's slightly defensive. But I just think there's so many good ways to assault this map. But there's also a lot of ways to defend aggressively, which we've seen a lot out of these teams. On Mexico was some pretty aggressive defensive play, which tapered off towards the end there. So we'll have to see how this goes. I could see HG choosing either side of the matchup here, going onto the attack or defense. But I think in the end we'll probably just see them take the typical defense play. I would like to see NP picking up the op in this map more than we saw it in Mexico. I think it's very easy to make a case, especially on defense, for not taking the op into Mexico, but much harder to make that case here on Compound. We will see, coming out of Blacklist spawn, the long hallway here towards that A site. Super long hallway. Will be tons of spam through those boxes to make sure nobody's standing there. If you can get to this door unnoticed, you can pretty much win a round as a lurker. Again, coming out of Blacklist spawn and heading through the pillars, heading 2 pillars and then into B door here and onto the B site. The B site's very interesting for me in that you do have to cede the high ground to defend it deep. Typically see people defending it on the ground floor after the bomb plant, because although you have to cede the high ground, there's so many different, it's hard for them to know exactly which server you're behind in that room. And then of course onto this A site, we've seen how important control of this mid area right here at the fork can be, because of how quick this rotation is between A and B for the attack. If they can gain control of that mid site, it can be very hard to know which site they are going to if they're able to take control of that. Swallowed wrong. Looks like we did have someone drop out of the game there. Technical issue should be fixed almost immediately. Easy fix there. Just a quick remake, and then we should be back into it. I think K's return to the team has not been especially seamless, but he still looks good mechanically. His time in the lower league, trying to build up a team of his own, has clearly not affected his mechanical ability. Bunan there, always been a good player for me on HG. Such a consistent performer, and of course, looking at that featured matchup we started with before the match, which was Bean versus WN99. I definitely think you'd have to give the nod to Bean because of how many times in that second half he put AG into the man advantage. WN99 has put some good rounds together, but not in that same way. I think maybe it's been NP who's had the bigger plays for HG. Either that or, we've actually, it's very hard to pick out a member on HG. We've seen each one of them step up at different times. From that 2-on-1 by Maple to the tunnel play by K, and MP picking up some nice multi-kill entry frags. But as I was saying, you see their pictures right there on the wall. This AG lineup. At least 90% of it. Very slow into this first round. AG's going to have to make a decision pretty soon here. Being still up in the watchtower there, trying to find in the guard tower, trying to find something out. Maple spraying through that smoke, can't quite find it, but does cause quite a bit of a disruption to that attack. And the bomb's actually going to swing over here now towards the B site, and they will get the entry frag here onto K, but Minnow's going to surprise them by being on that site. I definitely think they thought that was a solo hold, but now he's going to be in trouble. Even taking down 3. Can he get the third? He gets the 4th. What a play there. Was good enough to talk smack to HG, apparently. He did, in fact, say, "Catch me, Dwawa." That was quite the round out of even. There's no way he should have won that, but he did anyway. Taking that 4-on-1, showing us what's those classy mechanics that he has. And we do see, again, slow into round 2 here. A little bit of spray coming from, I didn't see whose that was, across mid. Bomb is sitting there in mid, and they're going to poke in towards pillars here. Ellison and Dono. Do you see K and Minnow holding at B door here? And still pretty slow here with about a minute remaining. It's been that delay. Bean has yet to really find anything in the early parts of these rounds. HG's been holding pretty deep here, and they're going to force them to pick a site here pretty soon with only 50 seconds remaining on the clock. NP does pick up that op, and it does look like it is going to be a hard execute here onto that A site. And ooh, WN99 looking like he was going to be able to pick up a couple there. NP's going to pick up one before going down. But Ellison will get the bomb down, and it's going to be a 2-on-3 retake here for K and Minnow. Okay, almost got the jump on him, but they're going to win trades. in different size. What a shot there from Bean, the one-tap deagle. But he's going to get the defuse. K's going to get the defuse. And then they're going to allow each other to survive. No knife battles post at the end of the round there. And could see some that spam pay off there on a long. It does look like NP might have gotten tagged by it. Ooh, he got tagged pretty heavily there through the boxes. The penetration on the M4, especially in China, is nothing to snivel at. Bum sitting here on Dono is going to rotate through mid and towards pillars. Although, as I say that, it does come back out immediately to mid. And LSN going to creep into the watchtower there. Guard tower. I keep calling it watchtower. I guess it's basically the same thing. Ooh, nice take there by Maple is going to put them in the man advantage. He's going to pick up another one and wisely back out while smoked. And very well played there by HG, by Maple and WN99 getting it, or excuse me, by Maple and Minnow. Oh, excuse me, there's Minnow. He's going to pick on up for himself. Bean is going to finally find a kill there onto one, but K going to finish it off for the round. And again, looking like it's anybody's map for here on Compound as well. HG looking like they have a pretty good defense here, and they're going to play aggressively up through mid and into pillars. And it's going to be very successful here, although in the end, Bean and JE are actually going to turn it into an even trade here, 3 for 3. And calling out that WN99 is at 50% health. NP getting a lot of tags there onto Dono, but isn't able to take him down. Grenade there isn't quite going to find its target. Oh, and Maple going to catch him reloading. WN99 going to pick up another one. And Bean saying this feels very similar to last round. Oh my goodness. That no scope though. And good round there out of HG. Very frantic there. Once the action started, it just kills kept coming back and forth, and you could hear it on the comms in the background there, that just completely frantic there. Ended up going into HG's favor. And it does look like, again, it's just an all-out brawl. And HG's got to find a new strategy here, because if they keep just brawling in the at pillars. Oh, nice pickup there by Even. And looking to try and clutch out 2 rounds in a row. Will get tagged there. Maple's going to take the trade, and he's going to win it. And Even definitely wanted that the second clutch of the round. But you already got a 4 for 1, mate. It's pretty good. It does look like a timeout might have come out here. I don't see a timer on the screen. Could be a technical timeout here. But discussions are coming through. It will be AG's timeout. And I think not a bad timeout. Although really, those last 2 rounds were basically had nothing to do with tactics or anything. They just bare knuckle boxing at Pillars 2 rounds in a row, and HG winning both of those knockdown drag out fights in a row. And somebody forgot to turn off the comms there. Got a sneak peek on the paused conversation of HG. But again, it still feels like it's completely anybody's map here. Everybody getting in on this discussion here for HG. Dono definitely along there with Sir, going to be the main voices. As we see them having a discussion pretty intensely. Always nice to see a smile on WN99's face. Both of these teams have a lot of good guys on them. You know, WN99 and K are very, very nice guys, and pretty much all the members on both teams. That's one thing I really like about the teams in the CFPL is that they're all very. They don't have those big heads that a lot of pro athletes have. Even in esports, you know, we see a lot of egos, and especially on these two teams, there's not much of that going on, and not much of it going around the league. Looks like we are ready to get back into it. Did forget their luggage a little bit, but they will go back and get it. Does AG. Looks like we might see another 2-on-2 at long A, but we will follow even here for the time being as he tries to sneak into the guard tower, and he will do so successfully. Might be able to find K there if he looks for it. K probably also checking that. NP is going to catch Bean. Wow, that was a very interesting sequence of events. I don't know if Bean caught vision onto MP or not, but MP definitely reacting to the shot out of Bean and does find it there. Really impressive shot there. And now into the 6th round we go. HG leading 3-4. And again, we see them slowing it down, AG, but it's going to be hard to get much done without being there to try and threaten those long-range picks. We do see a lot of equipment coming out. Did look like Dono might have gotten tagged there, and he did get tagged pretty heavily, but it's going to be Even who opens it up. Checking the corner, but K ends up finding him from a different angle, and they are going to try to force onto this B site. LSN waiting for reinforcements to come across. They are all present and accounted for. Going to try and take it onto it. K really the only man here. Oh, he's going to pre-fire and catch a head onto LSN. Going to pick up a second one. Can he pick up the third? He can. And wow, what a round there out of K. We've seen some impressive single performances here. Even having that 1v4 earlier, and now K taking that 1v3. They are going to back out, I think, wisely. Not once has that duel, has that battle royale at Pillars gone well for them. But it did open up NP. It did open up MP to get a pick there onto Bean. LSN is going to take up the Barrett in his place. Again, famous for his ability to use both of these weapons. And it's actually going to be WN99 going to pick up a double kill here. And looking really one-sided here. Although as I say that, JE going to pick up 3 for himself. He did definitely catch an eye on MP there. Who pulled out the pistol. Now is going to switch back. Switch locations. JE only 9 HP to his name. But we have seen this magic before. It was Maple on Mexico last time, taking a 2-on-1 in a very similar situation. Gonna have to find some headshots here as JE. He will be able to get the bomb down for free here at the A site if he decides to. He's running pretty low on time here. He probably will go ahead and pop that bad boy down. We'll see where he decides to hold here. He's going to toss the smoke down at long A. And then is going to catch an early eye onto MP. Going to get a nice flash there, but... Oh, and he's going to get the open up onto... Oh, he's got the shot here now. MP does take him down through the cubicle wall there. And it really felt like it was going to happen there for him. In the end, MP shuts it down, and now 6-1 on the defensive half for HG. Gonna be a rough first half here for AG. But if they can string a couple rounds here together, it's definitely still doable. Ooh, that's a good way to open it up here. Even gonna pick one up onto MP and really get cut behind the defense. It's gonna put some... Oh, WN99 gonna drop the bomb here at the A site, but now really HG very discombobulated here. That's going to be a big win there from WN99, though. He's going to spray a bit in towards that A bomb site. And even still over here on this B bomb site, just has been a real problem here for HG. Ooh, nice kill there. He's definitely not going to expect that, though. And he's going to pick it up anyway. He's going to pick up the third. WN99, a man possessed. That's his second 1v3 of the match. He's going to get 7-1 here. Absolute madness. This has been such a strange map. It even just completely opening up that B bomb site threw HG into turmoil. But if WN99 just goes out there and gets you the triple, it doesn't really matter. It does look like AG's finally going to put their second point on the board, although K is just going to, you know, it says it's my turn to do ridiculous things. And Mano says, well, can I have a try? I'm going to try and step in here and get a couple myself. He definitely has zero idea where the members of AG are, and that's going to go very well for K, apparently, as he is covering Minno's back, and it will be Bean who actually closes that out and takes it into a 7-2. Oh man, boy, was that looked for all the world like it was just going to be K's turn to pick up the 3 or 4K. AG gonna have to pull out the same kind of magic we just saw from HG on the defensive side. I mean, the one round we saw AG win was a huge clutch by that man right there, even picking up a 4-for-1. But then we saw at least 2 3-for-1s from WN99. And at least one from K. it's just been an absolute crazy first half where it was just tons of clutches and then a couple of backyard brawls where it just people just decided they were just going to go all out 5v5 fight in the middle of the map pretty much. Very aggressive step out there by Even, going to get punished by K. Maple going to pick up another one, and this is starting to feel really one-sided here. As now into the 5-on-2, it will get one traded out here, but it's going to be pretty much over here as the bomb's going to go down. Although Joey on 3 HP, K maybe on 2. But with WN99 and Maple on high health, it should be over. Instead, it is actually K who picks it up. And that's going to put 8 on the board now here for HG. And, you know, I've talked about how momentum-based HG really is, and they're showing it here, looking to take map 2 in style. Although it felt like they were going to take map 1, but it was not nearly with this much cushion. We do see HG moving into pillars pretty heavily. LSN is going to pick up the op here, and they will be in a 2-op setup with both Bean and LSN on it. And Dodo spraying through that smoke isn't going to find anything, at least for the time being. WN99 going to open this up here with a pick onto Bean, and he just hasn't been that force that we saw on the last map. Dono going to pick up a 3-4K, looking for the ace, and he's in position to do it. He's flashed out WN99, and WN99, he's on like 1 health. If they had any idea, they'd just tell Dono to go in there and go get it. And it's going to be it. There it is, the ace for Dono. Apparently that's the only way to win. If you're AG, you got to get at least 4 on one person, or it's just not going to happen. Now 6 there for Dono. I believe that's the first ace we've seen, or the first 1v5 we've seen for the English cast of the CFPL. Good, really big round there out of Dono. See if that can't light a fire under AG's pants, as they're going to need to do a lot of work here to come back from this 8-3 deficit. But if that doesn't get you hyped, I don't know what will. And pretty quiet here into the mid part of the round. Nobody going down either direction. Looks like we are going to see some equipment heading on. Ooh, nice headshot there by Even. And another pick there by LSN. Does look like this A execute got stopped in its tracks pretty hard here. And it will be cleaned up. Only NP left alive. Ooh, coming from a nice position there, but unable to spray him down. And now AG starting to ask some questions of HG here. It's starting to feel a little bit dangerous for them. Spray is coming down through the boxes. And nothing doing too much yet. There is Bean in the neighborhood, but he hasn't gotten caught by any of the spray. He won't find it yet. And now even gonna be sitting there ready to protect, ready to try and make the trade if they do assault Bean's location. And it's gonna be LSN back into that 2-op setup, and he's gonna take out a double. Looking for the triple. He's gonna pick it up there. Can he get the fourth? He's looking for it. He's gonna miss it. Well played there by Maple, baiting out that shot. So maybe now Maple will pull off the 4 for the 1v4 here. Although it looks like Even is pretty ready for him, and he will win that trade. And might want to consider calling a timeout here before too long. HG, and it will come out now. I think that's a good decision. And we do see K. He's going to hop up and walk over to discuss things with MP. I definitely think a very good timeout there from them, as this 2-op setup has really put a new face on things. LSN, of course, very proficient with that op. Could be equally, many people would even claim he is equally as good as their own sniper in Bean. I don't think he's quite as good as Bean, but definitely a very, very good opper in LSN, especially for the fact that he has to be practicing his AR skills more, you would think. But always been a consistent performer on that op. And that's something that's really nice to have in your back pocket, is that extra op player who can consistently go out there and get kills with it like LSN can. Just puts a whole new face on the round. And it definitely looks like it might have been that ace pulled off by Dono that has brought some life back here to AG in this second map. I think it's still pretty unlikely we see HG lose this map. But really starting to ask some questions now is AG. Gonna need first round out of the pause is definitely going to be important. And we do see pretty similar to what early start here to what we see from typically from. Ooh, it does look like Maple will have gotten tagged by that grenade. Gonna continue to spray that down. Maple continuing to move up. It does look like he is going to start looking over towards pillars. WN99 is going to toss a grenade through there. Won't find anybody. Dono gonna hear that spray and know that still at least one member there from HG. Bomb is moving here towards pillars, and gotta find a way to stop LSN from pulling off multi-kills here from this playing from that exact same spot that he did last round. And he is gonna miss the first shot, and he's gonna have to duel with the MP now. Does actually look like they're gonna move out of that situation, and Minnow's still there. Is gonna look to take the trade. Bean misses the shot. But while that's happening, Maple does go down to Bean from a different angle, but it does look like a B execute in the end. They can't get through onto it though. Oh, they do manage to sneak past JE there, actually. And that's actually going to be huge. JE taking the recalling to falling back to cover for the exact amount of time it took them to cross that point onto the B site. Ended up being huge for them. And now onto map point here. definitely breathe a sigh of relief as HG. Now you definitely feel like it should be your map to take. You have 4 rounds. 4 rounds to pick one up. AG gonna need to put 4 rounds together to stay in it. Otherwise, we are headed to a third and deciding map. And if that does happen, that will signal that SV, at least for today, will move into sole possession of first place. Ellison again, now playing very aggressively as AG, and it's going to work out pretty well for them. It's going to work out really well for them, even with another huge round. He's going to get another 4K. That's 2 on this map, and his team is still down 9-5. Evan's been playing out of his skull on this map, but just seems like the only member of AG getting anything done, except for one round where Dono pulled off an ace. This has been such a strange map. So many solo carry performances where people just popping off with 1v3s, 1v4s, 1v5s. We got it all. I still think that first 1v4 by Even was the best round.